Budget cuts could soon be a burden for students here at LSU. The board of directors says costs are going up, and not just in tuition. Students might even have to come even more out of pocket for things like football games and the rec center. Will the Pittsburgh Steelers take home their 6th Super Bowl ring, tackling the lead with the most titles? Or will the Arizona Cardinals fly high with their first ring and cap a Cinderella season?
The angel of death waits here.
The 13th Gate is celebrating their 15th year in business, and it's a screaming hit for all those who want to get spooked. In the makeup room of the 13th Gate, there's everything from airbrush to fake blood and props. This is the room where the nightmare begins. With 13 frightening themes throughout the maze, there's never a silent moment. Whether you're crawling through a crematory oven or walking through an insane asylum, you're sure to see makeup and costumes at its best. Owner Dwayne Sanborn believes this is what he was born to do.
Well, Halloween's in my blood. I've always loved Halloween since I was a kid.
This year, he estimates to hit a record number of guests, somewhere between 60 and 70,000. And there's 2 monsters we talk to that never get tired of making you scream. What do you guys do to get yourself pumped, to get yourself motivated to scare people all night long?
Oh, really? We don't have to do anything at all. That first scream, as soon as you hear it, gets your blood pumping.
We caught up with some people who were still all shook up.
I am still nervous and scared.
The house is only open for 25 days out of the year, but there's a whole lot that goes into preparing for their big scare.
We work year-round on the haunted house. A lot of people don't know that we have a full-time crew that we work from November until the time we open.
With over 100 employees, he says the competition is fierce. They had over 200 people audition to be ghouls and goblins. Sanborn says half of the characters are professional actors. The other half are theater majors at LSU. Young and old come out to see the attraction. We find out what 2 little girls thought of the maze. You're gonna have nightmares from this?
Probably so.
Nightmares indeed. It's a tour of horror and a labyrinth of screams. The 13th Gate is not an attraction for the faint at heart. Reporting for NBC 33 News, I'm Morgan Rose.
In the courtroom, they're judicial warriors.
You're out of order! You're out of order! The whole trial is out of order!
But during the holiday season, attorneys and judges around Baton Rouge put down the gavels and reach for the stars.
The Holiday Star Project was started in 1991 by a group of lawyers that wanted to give back to the community.
The Holiday Star Project is sponsored by the Baton Rouge Bar Association.
We were providing gifts to children just from 1 or 2 social service agencies around Baton Rouge, and since that it's grown.
It's now a year-round job.
We start collecting information on the kids and the agencies in July, actually.
And once the information is gathered?
The individual lawyers and their staffs actually go out and purchase the presents.
And what about those high attorney's fees?
Strictly volunteer funding.
And this is how the program works. Every lawyer is given a star, and on that star has a child's name, but more importantly, it has their wish list, and it's up to the lawyer to fulfill that wish list. Now, when this program began, they only helped about 100 kids, but as you can see, the program has grown since then to include over 1,000.
It's amazing the number of bicycles, MP3 players, iPods, and so forth.
One year I picked a holiday star because the wish list included a nice coat for church, and it just broke my heart.
And delivery? Well, there are no flying reindeer or even pixie dust, but there is a bit of magic involved. Matt Cody, owner of Magic Movers, volunteers his truck and gas to take the gifts to each agency, which will then deliver the gifts to the needy families.
Well, anytime you get the opportunity to give back to the community, it's always, a plus.
These are the faces of true charity. giving kids in need a chance to remain childlike.
I think the kids believe the gifts come from Santa Claus.
Intracoastal City is now seeing the effects of Edward. There are wind gusts up to 40 miles an hour, and it kind of makes it hard to stand still at times. There's water coming over the bulkhead, and this is the least that Galveston and Sabine Pass can expect from this storm. Worst case scenario is it increases to a Category 1 hurricane. Back to you in the studios.